Hello everybody. So today I thought I'd talk to you all about the art of selling. I like to teach you all. So anyone here that's involved in the service industry, or if you're self-employed or you run a small business and you're looking to increase your sales, then I'm glad to be here to hand over what I've learnt in my 15 years of being self-employed. Well, I don't think actually I haven't really been self-employed for 15 years, more like 10 years actually. Okay, and yeah, so selling is actually very simple, really simple. So when somebody says to you, "Show me how you sell something," that's quite simple really. So what you do, if there's a product or a service that you want to sell, you just go out and if you find the person that wants to buy, you simply walk up to them and you say, "Oh, that's £12.99, please," and then you take the money and then you give them a receipt. Simple selling. Oh, okay. So I think there's probably a bit more than what you're looking for actually in this video. Okay, so I mean for me, that's exactly what selling is. In my mind, when somebody says to me, "Can you sell?" That's exactly an example of selling. You know, you've opened up a shop, you walk up to somebody and you say, "Okay, what would you like?" "A t-shirt." "Okay, there you go. That's 11.99 or 12.99, 14.99, whatever it is." But I think if you're watching this video, I think what the question really should be is, do I have the ability to encourage someone to buy from me instead of "Can you sell?" Because selling is really just an exchange. You've got a product or a service. They want that. Your customer wants that product or service. You take the money and you give them the service or the product, and then that's it. But actually, so I'm going to go back to what I was saying previously. Is I think it's more to do with how do you make yourself somebody that people want to buy from. I think it's a better way of phrasing it for me. And after a long time thinking about it last night, because let's face it, we're in a pandemic at the moment, and we're in a situation now where we have a lot of time now, a lot of downtime to think, and so I've come up with two very simple steps, which I can't really fault, to be quite honest with you. And if you want to know what those steps are, then keep watching. Okay, so the first step, I'm going to write this one down. So number one, let people know you exist. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. I know I've got a handwriting like an ex-murderer, but if you can see that there, let people know you exist. Okay, that's the first thing. And I know that sounds like ridiculously simple. Okay, it does sound ridiculous, and it is ridiculously simple. However, I have worked with people who haven't grasped that concept, and I'll give you an example. I was contacted by a massage therapist to do some chair massage with her at an event, at an outdoor event, and it was like a fair. So you had like food stands, you had like places where people play games, to win like teddy bears and that sort of thing, and people selling sweets, and there are other games and activities for families to take their children to, all that sort of thing. And she had a choice to she had two choices of where she wanted to set her stand. One was next to the burger stand, and the other one was away from the crowd altogether. And she took the choice of being away from the crowd, and that really annoyed me. She didn't consult me about this at all, and that really annoyed me, only because I knew that we've killed our own business before we've even started, because I knew that there weren't going to be that many people walking past our stand, which meant that less people would be interested in what we were doing because nobody there knew that we even existed. So that was pretty sad. So yeah, that's a really important thing to let people know. Let them know that you're around. And how do you let people know that you're around? Okay, so you can do public events. So I'm going to write this down as well. So public events. Okay, which isn't a bad option. But in this day and age, if you really want to address a lot of people, you want to address millions of people, and if you want to do it completely for free, and you can do it without spending any money at all whatsoever. What I'm doing now is spending absolutely no money at all, is to do it all online, to let people know that you exist online, through YouTube, through Facebook, through Twitter, potentially TikTok, although I don't really use TikTok myself, but yeah, those tools. So I'm going to write this down as well. So that's YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. Yep. Okay, so the more people that know that you exist, the more likely that out of that crowd, somebody will potentially want to buy. But then again, and I know that simply being there, just standing there, isn't going to provoke the action of somebody wanting to go up to you and say, right, I want to buy this from you, or I want this particular service from you. So the next thing is step number 2. So remember, there's only 2 steps. Only 2 steps, which I think is really amazing. Okay, so step number 2 is build trust. Build trust. Okay, why do you think I want to build trust? Okay, because there's been this because around my sort of industry, people always say, oh, it's word of mouth. Always, word of mouth, is the best form of marketing. It's the greatest thing ever. Or they'll say something to you like, oh, if you have a good service or if you have a good product, the product will sell itself. Well, I'm sorry, I don't think the product will ever sell itself unless people know that, for one, it even exists. So you have to let people know that it exists. So you have to put the word out there through your public events or online. And also because it's very sort of old guard way of thinking as well. Back in the day, maybe in the 1980s, people were probably doing a lot more leafleting, putting ads up in shops and that sort of thing. I don't think those work as well these days anymore. I don't think it's really worth the money compared to advertising online. So anyway, so going back to step number 2, building trust. Okay, I'll give you an example. When people talk about getting people through word of mouth, I just want to use these two bottles as an example. Okay, so this is John, this is Paul. Okay, so John has had a massage from me, because that's what I do, massage therapist, right? And so John's had a fantastic experience, great experience, loved the massage, thought it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to him in his life. Okay, so John has gone and told Paul. Paul has thought, in theory, because John has told Paul what a great massage he's had, Paul, in theory, should be like, yeah, I need to go get a massage from James, me. Okay, so in theory, that would work. Now, the reason why I was talking about trust is, in theory, that should work, right? John should tell Paul, go see James. He's a great massage therapist, the greatest guy I've ever met in my whole life. Okay. However, what people don't tell you, John, what if John is a swindler? What if John's a liar? What if John, owes all of his friends money and has never returned it ever in his life? are people going to listen? Are people going to listen? Is Paul going to listen to John? Is anyone going to listen to John? I don't think so. Why? Because they don't trust him. Yeah, okay. So why not? Why don't I become the person that people trust? So I want to be able to build trust with people. So when I say something, and if I recommend something, people are going to be more likely to take my word for things as opposed to somebody like John. So how do we build trust? Is to be honest. Yeah, being honest is how we build trust. So I'm also a trained acupuncturist. So the way I can be honest is I can be honest in terms of what services that I can give, what sort of results that I can produce. For example, I've had somebody, because I'm an acupuncturist as well. Somebody came up to me several years ago and said, "Oh, can you do something for hay fever?" And I said, "Yes, I can certainly do that." And she said, "Okay, well, I wouldn't mind having a session to get that cleared up." And I said to her, "Well, I mean, I have to tell this to you straight away. I mean, it doesn't quite work that way. One session is not going to clear it completely. If you are looking to help your symptoms, that's gonna take several. I mean, depending on how long you've had these symptoms for. I mean, you're looking at potentially anything up to maybe like about 100 treatments once a week potentially. But I had to be honest with her because I don't want her thinking, oh, I'm going to have 3 sessions with him and I should be cured. It doesn't quite work this way. Like having these sort of treatments is almost like going to see a personal trainer. Building up the muscles or setting a particular goal where you're looking to lose weight. So so it takes time before you start to see results. I have to be honest with people if they have a particular injury and they're in a lot of pain, and if I turn around to them and say, yeah, of course I can, you just need to keep on coming to see me and we can sort this out. If I don't have that, if that's outside my range of skills, then I don't want to keep seeing them. I need to be honest and say, you know what, this isn't something that I'm trained to do. You need to go see somebody else. And that's where you get the trust from. That people are going to know that you're honest. Another way of building trust is to give value. So there's certain things that we can do that may not cost us any money. It might not cost us any time potentially. It might take a little bit of time, maybe just a few minutes. Or if you're running a shop, and if there's a little something that you can just give away for free that doesn't eat away at your bank balance, that's a good thing as well. I mean, I'll give you an example. I mean, there's a really nice bakery just down the road from me. Well, actually, just around the corner from me. I'm a regular there, and sometimes when it comes near to closing time, because I'm a regular, and also to help to make sure that I keep coming back. I mean, they're very nice people as well, but to make sure that I keep coming back, sometimes they'll say to me, "Oh, what would you like here?" And I'll just say sometimes, "Oh, can I have a croissant?" And they'll just give it to me for free, which is a nice touch, and it just keeps me coming back to them. So I mean, you can give value in so many different ways. It could be just giving free advice like this. If you're within the service industry, if you're within what I do in the health and wellness industry, if you can give advice to somebody, if you're at a party and somebody's asking you about a particular condition, you could even make your own video, quite the same way that I'm doing it. Just make a video, give them a set of exercises potentially to do, or give them a way to release tension or stiffness or pain with items around the house. That's one way that you can give value. So yeah, if you're doing this, if you're reaching out to people, if you're letting people know that you exist, then when you turn around to them and say, "All right, well, I think after giving value to them and being honest with them, I think they can then be in a better position for you to turn around to them one day and say, you know what, I really think you need to book in a session. So once you say it to them, they'll probably be more likely to have enough trust in you to actually give you the money and go ahead. So yeah, this is basically it. Yeah, and I know I'm probably going to have some critics out there saying, you know what, James, you're not a millionaire. You haven't made loads of sales. You haven't sold, I don't know, 1,000,001 books, or you haven't sold 5 million products. Why are you giving me this sort of advice? I say, I'll tell you why I'm giving you this sort of advice, and why I'm not the guy that's made it. And I'll tell you why, and I can tell you why I haven't made it, because these two steps haven't been strengthened yet. There's still not enough people that know that I exist, and haven't built enough trust with enough people for loads of people to come and see me and book treatments from me. So yeah, and that's my plan. See, look, my plan is just a little bit of scribbling on a bit of paper, but I can use this to catapult myself to getting somewhere, and I will get somewhere. And you can quote me on that, because I've documented it now. Yeah. So and if you're asking me what exactly I'm going to do, I can be honest with that. Okay. So my next step at the moment is I want to reach out to more people. So what I want to do is I really want to improve my video making skills. So I need to do a lot more than just filming from my camera. So not my camera, from my Samsung S7. I need to invest in a better quality camera. I need to invest in good quality editing equipment. I also need to get a good laptop as well, good editing laptop, high performance one, and also that will also lead into me building more trust with people. Okay, so yeah, me being honest. Yeah, I'm always being. I can't remember the last time I lied to somebody, to be quite fair with you. Give value. So yeah, I want to give more value. So I want to go off and do more work in my spare time. When I say spare time, that's the time I'm not making money. So yeah, I want to be reaching out to some charities as well. I want to be documenting some of that as well. That'll be good fun, and I think I'll be doing something for a worthy cause, and also documenting that so people are aware of what these guys are doing. So that's my game plan. I'm being honest and transparent with what I plan to be doing in the future, and yeah, I hope that this has been of value to anyone watching. If I'm talking a load of nonsense, and if you feel that way, and if you feel that strongly about it, then please by all means leave a comment down below. Hey, you know what? You might even be a millionaire. You might be a billionaire, a trillionaire. Yeah, and if you think I'm talking a load of rubbish, please do. You've been there, you've done it, you've bought the t-shirt. If you want to correct me anywhere along the line, please go on right ahead. Yeah, because at some point I need to make it in my life. So yeah, please do. Just don't ignore me. Leave a comment down below. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, or if there's anything, any tips and tricks you want to know about when it comes to health, wellness, please do leave a comment down below too. Or you can email me as well at info@maxstrengthholistics.co.uk. So until next time, guys, take care and stay safe. Avoid this virus. See you now. Bye.